What's up guys, welcome to Graphic Designer Pro. In this video we'll be running through a brief overview of our logo design process so that you can get an insight into how we go about creating them for our clients. You can also download a free template file from the description below that'll give you a guide to work with when creating your own logos. Okay, I'm going to pass you over to Rory now who will take you through the process.
Thanks Ross. So jumping straight into our simplified logo design process, the first step is of course to get a solid understanding of the client brief if there is one, or if this is a personal project then it's still a good idea to write up your own brief or project goals. You want to understand the business and wider sector you're designing for. Ask your clients lots of questions about the company, their audience, their values, their mission and even their competitors. As designers we're problem solvers, so you want to understand why a logo design is needed and how you're going to solve this. A logo is arguably the face of a brand, so it needs to try and capture the essence of what they do. A technique we use is to list keywords associated with the business. These can be company values, associated imagery, colours, really anything that can help generate ideas and assist with the next stage, which is research. Now there are many ways to research for a project, but in most cases simply carrying out searches on the likes of Google, Pinterest, Dribbble and Behance based on the keywords you've gathered will allow you to collate a mood board of related imagery that you can then refer to when generating your own concepts. This can be anything from photos related to the business, design styles, typography, colour schemes, as long as it's relevant to the scope of the project. This should then help you to start sketching out some initial concepts. Now I know the thought of sketching may make some of you wince, but trust me, it can make such a difference. I'm no good at drawing, but the point of this phase is to just get ideas down on a page, and it's much quicker and easier to do this by sketching than jumping straight onto the computer. Your sketches don't have to be detailed or technically impressive. This is purely for your own benefit so that you have ideas to refer to and develop when you start creating on the computer. In fact, when it comes to logo design, simplicity is a key element. Try to refine your ideas into their most basic forms to achieve something memorable and versatile in application. That being said, you should continue to develop and iterate as you design. I always end up creating tons of different versions of each concept I try, as I'll often get new ideas as I design, and sometimes your sketched concepts just won't translate on screen. Having a range of concepts to try in the first place can also really help when you hit a wall creatively. We also swear by the technique of designing purely in black and white first, as we're focusing more on the positive and negative space, without the need for colour to define what we're creating. You should also never neglect the typography in a logo design too. It can be easy to get caught up in the design of an eye-catching logo mark, but good use of text is every bit as important. If you're using pre-made typefaces, you should not only consider how well they fit the style of the company, but also how well they harmonise with the style of icon or lettermark you pair them with. There should be balance between the elements in terms of size and positioning too. Try various layouts to see what works best, and remember to view them at a range of sizes to see if any elements are getting lost or illegible. Finally, you want to pick a colour palette that fits with the brand too. Hopefully your research will help you pick relevant colours that fit with the sector you're designing for and makes the logo stand out even more. Generally, if you're using gradients then try to keep them subtle and avoid high contrast colours or shades. Also try not to use too many colours. Remember, it's a good idea to keep logos simple, and each colour you add is another element to process for its audience. We'd also recommend trying to create at least a few different options, especially if designing for a client. It's important to remember that design is subjective, and what you may think is the strongest option may not be the same as your client. But that rounds off our general approach to designing a logo. Now remember that every project is different with varying parameters such as timescale, budget, and specific needs, but these general practices have worked well for us and many other logo designers over the years, and the principles can definitely be applied to most jobs. And as Ross mentioned at the start of the video, we have a free download of this logo template template file which you can use for your final logo designs, and this can really help organize them. So the idea with this is that you can replace these with your own designs, swap out the colors for your own brand colors, and it should just give you an idea of how we go about organizing our final logos as well. You can also do things like toggle the background layers if you want to export these as PNGs, for example. And speaking of exporting, each of these artboards is labeled, so if you go to export these yourself, I can name them to relate this to the company. I'm just going to select PNG for this example, and I'm going to select use artboards, click export, then click OK. And as you can see, we get each artboard exported as its own PNG file, and these are all labeled accordingly thanks to the artboard names. So this should save you some time in your own logo design projects.
So there you have it. This is a brief overview of our process, and ultimately it's important for you to find what works best for you. And if you have any questions, then drop a comment down below and we'll do our best to help. If you want to learn more about graphic design, we've created a free 1-hour training where you'll discover the top 5 secrets of successful designers, which saves you the hassle of having to figure it all out for yourself. We'll be showing you 1. How to immerse yourself in the sector you're designing for. 2. Creative thinking and how to spark creativity. 3. What good composition is and how you can achieve it in your designs. 4. How to pick the right colours for your designs. And 5. How to pick the right typefaces for your projects. So if you're serious about leveling up your design skills, then make sure to sign up for the next free webinar. Space is limited and these events always fill up fast because they're significantly better than the information others charge you for, and ours is free. The link is in the description, you're not going to want to miss it. I'll see you there.